Hello guys, this is here. I'm the first player who gonna make a video of Lego Fortnite and Rocket League Fortnite in Season 1 Chapter 5. Let's go!
God! もっと冬を熱くしよう。この島は日本からたった3時間半。
To pilot a giant robot and kill the monster herself. They reluctantly move forward with the plan, constructing the mech in the hollowed out volcano. It is time for the final showdown. And in the ultimate live event, Paradigm slays the monster with the sword. The rotting corpse is left on the island. She knows that if she sticks around, the IO will recapture her, so she begins her escape, flying directly upwards into space. Her new mission, investigate where the monster came from. When they learn about this, the Seven are furious. They think she betrayed them by working with the IO, and after her escape, it's radio silence. Pretty quick, they learn that a robot was crashed into a nearby planet called the Ice Moon. The temperature is simply way too cold for a human to survive, so she must have never made it. And that brings us back to the island, where the Imagined Order has bigger problems than their prisoner escaping. Before the monster was killed by Paradigm, it broke into the Zero Point's vault. Grabbing the orb, she used it to stun the Devourer, but this left the Zero Point exposed, and it was destabilizing fast. As it begins to implode, the Imagined Order has no hope of saving it, but luckily someone else does. The Seven are sworn protectors of the Zero Point. Time itself is breaking down, bringing the meteor and other locations from the past to the island. Out of the new meteor emerges our latest member, the scientist, who is already preparing a plan to save reality. He builds these rift beacons around the island, using their power to gather resources and prepare the other members of the Seven for their plan. Together they'll use rifts to unpause time and jumpstart the Zero Point into stabilizing. But for that to work, they need the meteor. The island has now been reshaped by the 0 point, split into two pieces of land that sandwich the orb for extra protection. The Imagined Order needs to re-establish control over the island, and fast. They send agents to survey the area, but quickly they come face to face with their snapshots. But only one problem: these snapshots are different. They're altered by an evil mad scientist known as Chaos Agent. The scientist belongs to a secret crime syndicate Shadow founded by Midas, a powerful and greedy leader. His true power is in the form of the Golden Touch, a curse that was placed on him after he tried to steal the treasures of an ancient king. And despite this, Midas' organization is taken from underneath him as Chaos Agent rises to grab power. With his vast wealth, Midas makes a new organization, Ghost, and its purposes are very different. Instead of committing crime, Ghost becomes a secret agency that spies on the mysterious activities around the island. Quickly, Midas learns about the Loop and the Imagined Order, and he is blown away by their evil plans. This causes him to recruit his daughter Jules, who's been a master engineer her entire life. To distract the IO from his plans, he wages war against Shadow to cover up his true intentions, building a device that'll destroy the Loop for good. He believes the key to doing this is the Storm. It's how the Imagined Order enforced the Loop by bringing it in every 22 minutes to kill whoever's left standing. So by pushing it back, you'll free everyone trapped by its wrath. What he doesn't know is that the Imagined Order is already keeping tabs on him. John Jones is a field agent who has dedicated his life to the Order. Under their oath, he has done covert work on the island hundreds of times, leaving a snapshot every single time he re-enters the Loop. But before Jones can figure out Midas' plan, it is sprung into action as the Device event. Midas' plan works, until things get weird. He didn't account for the fact that the storm isn't just lightning, it's alive and controlled by the 0 point.
Must be connected to the loop, but there's no way we could have predicted that it would react this.
In a defensive reaction, the storm protects itself by creating a giant wall of water. Midas has failed, and over time the wall collapses, flooding the island and wiping out Ghost and Shadow's territory. It isn't long before Agent Jones has to face yet another threat to the IO's reign. Turns out that when the 0 point created this reshaped island, it released an enormous amount of energy. In a case of extreme unluckiness, it got the attention of a being from another universe, one that we are very familiar with. It is here that crossovers enter the storyline, because this threat from outer space is none other than Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. He's drawn to this massive energy surge and is desperate to consume the planet that contains it. Of course, it's the Fortnite island, and because Galactus is from the Marvel universe, it also brings a whole cast of characters to protect us. If he's able to devour the 0 point, it would destroy reality as we know it. This kickstarts a plan from Tony Stark to build rift beacons around the map and bring his lab to the island. Every day, the island's residents see this being get closer, and just before he arrives, the plan is revealed. Tony spent all this time building custom battle buses and fitting them with explosives, cannons, and lasers, and now the day has come. We're able to fight him off, and ultimately, he maybe got a little too much power before he rifted him away for good, and this causes major problems. With Galactus exposing the 0 point, it has once again started to destabilize. We know this time period as the Zero Crisis, and this time the Seven aren't here to save it. So right now the Imagined Order is panicking, but for a different reason. They don't care if reality breaks down, they just want to make sure nobody jumps into the 0 point and escapes the loop. So they send Agent Jones on a task. He travels through 88 different realities, jump after jump, to recruit the galaxy's best bounty hunters so they can hunt down those trying to leave. After spending months on this task, he returns only to find that the 0 point is worse than he left it. He begs his boss, Dr. Sloan, to do something, but she won't listen.
What's the point of recording these logs if you're not gonna listen? We've lost control of the 0 point. Do you get what that means? You must not, because you're doing nothing. I've dedicated my life to the Order. I've given everything. And for what? To just sit back and watch reality end? That's not who we are. At least it's not who I am. Not anymore.
Time is running out and Jones refuses to submit. Instead, he takes matters into his own hands, defecting from the IO for good. And that's when he breaks into the bridge searching for a secret file.
This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. Oh, really? No time to stabilize reality, but plenty of time to revoke my credentials. This is Agent Jones requesting access to all materials related to the Seven. Oh, great! If you're not gonna give me what I need, I'm just gonna have to take it.
So he does, and with his newfound knowledge, he hops on a battle bus and heads straight for the island, where the 0 point is on the brink of imploding. He rushes through all of the hunters he spent months recruiting and gets there just in time.
Unbelievable. It actually worked. Look, I know you have no reason to trust me, but... Oh no. Hang on! Let's talk! Let's talk! Geno! I can get you to Geno.
And the sisters?
I can get you all of them. But I need your help to fix that.
Finally, we are introduced to the Foundation, the leader of the Seven who has been rivals with Geno for centuries. Now that Jones has offered to give him Geno, he's actually willing to help protect the 0 point. As it starts to break down, the orb blooms like a flower. Jones has studied it his entire life, but this is the first time he's seen it react like this. Now, there's no time to admire it though. It's destabilized and is already way too far gone to save. The only option now is to contain the blast. The Foundation seals himself in a tower of stone, and in the ultimate sacrifice, tells Jones to overload his portal gun, leaving them both trapped in the loop. The Spire encases the 0 point, with reality waves sending the island into a wild and feral state. It's overtaken by a primal biome as the IO scrambles to maintain control. They bring in the Spire Guardians, who are here to defend the 0 point secrets from ancient hunters such as Raz. He claims that the Spire has been calling to him in his dreams, and he traveled here on a mission to learn its mysteries. While tracking down the island's artifacts, he discovers an unseen reality log left behind by Agent Jones. Raz immediately begins searching for the Spire's mysterious crystals, which in turn lead him to the ultimate artifact. Before we can stop Raz, one of Jonesy's snapshots gives us a chilling warning. There are people who think the Spire will make them powerful. It will, but it will also exploit their every weakness. Do not allow the Spire to corrupt someone powerful, or Jones does not stand a chance. Go now before the Spire attracts any more attention from the... Never mind, just hurry. Well, it's already a little too late, because Raz has found a crucial artifact that is way too dangerous to wield on his own. This shard is all too familiar. It's a piece of the cube that almost destroyed the island with the corruption still intact. Upon wielding it, Raz succumbs to the darkness, becoming aggressive and evil. Now, we're able to take it away from him in time, but the damage has already been done. Now, before we get discovered just how important this key moment was, a comic reveals an extraordinary amount of secrets hidden underneath the island. As a DC crossover, it revolves around Batman, who has been trapped in the loop after investigating a rift in Gotham City. As the world's greatest detective, he is able to prepare an escape plan. With the help from Catwoman, he escapes the loop by standing in the center of the storm in the final seconds. Now, free to roam the island out of the loop, he comes across a group of inhabitants. They form an alliance and decide to get out of Reality Zero for good. Only problem is, they can't just swim away, they would disintegrate. And now that they've escaped the loop, there are no second chances. Death is permanent. There's only one way to get home, and it's the same way they got here, through the 0 point. The group is able to unlock one of the metal bunkers on the island and head underground in search of an escape. The room is extremely ancient, protected by massive golems and swarms of IO guards. It's a tough battle, and in the chaos, Fishstick is killed by an unknown figure. It becomes apparent one of the group is working for the Imagined Order. The others, still in shock, decide to carry on. The further they progress, the closer they get to the 0 point. Eternal Voyager, in his desperation to escape, sprints
Let's go, guys. We're almost here. 1 minute left. Let's go. Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Joke lang. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Wee!